Hi guys, this is Kay and you're on the Collective Soul Tarot channel. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining in with me. So let's begin another general reading for the collective. Okay, and I decided to include Colette Baron Reid's Wisdom of the Oracle to get a couple of cards just to start us off. Archangel Michael and the Holy Spirit, excuse me. Thank you so much for enveloping me in your wings of beauty, love, protection, and guidance. Thank you. Will you please guide and assist me today with correctly interpreting energies in the cards and to help me see clearly? Archangel Michael and my Holy Spirit, what does our viewers need to know or want to know today? Today is Friday, February the 9th, 2024. Thank you, Archangel Michael. All right, so what do we got for the first oracle? New life. Well, isn't that's positive? Very, very positive. Excuse me, guys, just fuzzies. All right, second one, between worlds. Okay, well, it looks like you're stepping out of the old into the new energies, right? Which is also your life. If you don't realize it by now, with me saying things like what you think and what your perspective is and your belief systems, attitudes, and opinions, that is what actually creates your environment around you, your world. So the energies that are within you are also without you. So it depends on, if you don't like what you're seeing in your outside world, you're having a lot of challenges. Maybe not every single day, but there's more than you wish to have in any area of your life. Love and romance, career or work, like with coworkers and your bosses and stuff like that, being on the same page with them, having conflict with them, whichever. These are love and romance, and these co-worker or boss worker dynamic, boss employee dynamic, and family is the greatest challenges we have to face. And then we have friends that we may or may not get along with all the time, might be spatting and spitting and not agreeing with each other and in a huff about stuff. And then there's money, our prosperity, our financial wellness, not to mention our health. And then there's spirituality. And notice that the last one mentioned is spirituality. That's upside down living. So that's putting everything else first. Yeah, love and romance, because unless you're experiencing, calm and peace, and you're just feeling very content and truly happy with your relationship, you're getting everything that you need from it. If that's the way you feel, then you're likely got spirituality in the mix. God, religion, whatever, in the mix with that. But if you don't, and you've got challenges, like I said, it may not be every day, but every now and again, something comes up, and you just feel like you're not sure if you can trust your partner, or they maybe aren't being able to trust you. So then they're giving you conflict. There'll be arguments and disagreements about many different things. The kids are in it and everything like that. If you got kids too, then you're likely got the spirituality or your religion. If you have, if you pay attention to it, focus on it and all, it's on the back burner. It's only going to be pulled off like a doll off a shelf, right? When a child wants to play with that doll, it's going to get on a little step ladder and climb up into the closet and pull that one out. I know I certainly did, because I had plenty of them, and so I couldn't play with them all the time, so I'd choose which one I'm going to play with today, right? So it's kind of the same thing with when things are not going well, you pull that doll, which is God, or your religion, your faith, you pull that off the shelf and pay attention to it, focus on it, because things aren't going so great. And you're just in need of some comfort, right? Peace and comfort. But when everything starts going better again, that's just like swept under the rug. It's kind of like it's not important anymore. Not as important anymore as it was even a few days ago. So that's the kind of thing where you are, where we are, not just you. When I say you, I mean everybody, including myself. That's kind of how we operate, because, you know, it's life. It's life. And so you have decided that you're going to be paying more attention to that part, that doll on your closet shelf, way up high. You're going to be pulling that one down. Doll, you know how dog is spelt backwards as God? Well, let's just say doll is too, and it still spells God. Yeah. So, excuse me. So there is a time where you are pulling down God, and you're you know, spending time listening to, paying more attention to, more focused on, and as a result of that, you change in your inside environment, your internal environment, your perspectives, your beliefs, your conditioning, your fear. You're letting go of and healing from some coping mechanisms, fears, right? Ego, that we developed as a small child. We all do it because there's, for one reason or another, we feel like we need to have a coping mechanism for what we're witnessing or experiencing, or witnessing others experiencing, things that just, from our perspective, it looks painful. It looks scary, it looks threatening. So we develop a coping mechanism. And that, if we don't realize it's there, and we just operate on our world from one day to the next thing you know, you're no longer a child, you're an adult. But we all still have those coping mechanisms there for the most part. So we're allowing ourselves to look at those now, for whatever reason you're learning to do that, whatever your life experience is, you're learning to do that, you've been doing it, and now you're stepping into a new way of life, which is a whole new perspective of what you used to think and believe, what you're coping, like what your foundation, which is our subconscious mind. What is the foundation we're building it? We're building it on sand and fears, which is ego-based, or we're building it on integrating with the soul beneath that. And when we start integrating, that means we start removing the layers of newspapers, I said yesterday, or layers of the peels of an onion. We're removing those to expose, to be able to see the light within the center of all that underneath. And that's your soul. That's your new life. Okay, so right now, it takes time for a person to go from having life's hard lessons, learning something, paying off karmic debt in a relationship, in whatever way that works for you, love and romance, co-worker relationships, and employee-employer relationships, then family relationships, and like I said, then there's friends, and then there's money, I should say, and then there's friends, and then there's what the heck? What I got here? I got here love and romance, co-work, like work, career, and then friends, family and friends, family most significantly, finances, friends, and health, then spirituality or religion, right? That's the last thing that we really, really put our 3D focus on. Yeah, because it's here, it's right in front of our face. We can touch, taste, and smell it, and all the five senses of third dimension. So we're going to, what we need to do is to tip it, so that spirituality or your religion becomes first, okay? And then everything else. You don't have to deal with everything separately. You don't at all. Once you focus on your spirituality, your religion, that great higher resonancy just fixes everything else. But it always takes time, right? Where we are in our mindset right now took time, didn't it? Like from time we were young to now, that took time. So it's not going to take that much time. That's the beauty of such a real authentic focus on your God, your spirituality, your religion, a really authentic and sincere focus, something that you're dedicated to, you're committed to. It starts releasing all those years of having to painfully and painstakingly heal relationships, mend your circumstances, your finances, your health, and everything else. It doesn't take that long. In fact, what happens is if you start looking at life in a way that you're becoming allowing and accepting with unconditional love and being forgiving, then you are actually cutting years of having to spend time trying to mend relationships with this one and then that one. And then, okay, well, I've done those two, maybe, I'm going to work on this one now. No, you don't have to do that. The wonderful thing about it is it becomes all inclusive. That includes your health and your prosperity, your financial prosperity, all your opportunities in life with career, job, love and romance, and just things that you enjoy doing, following your heart and your desires. That's all inclusive. You spend time in meditation and prayer with your spirituality, getting to know your soul, your God very intimately, and always keeping it in the forefront of your mind, not on the back burner over here or on the shelf in the closet, only when you feel like you really need to bring it down. No, keep that as the number one priority, and then everything else under that, it's all inclusively heals and mends. Things do. And the people that you cannot mend a relationship with, for whatever their reasons are, okay? Because everybody's got their own skeletons in their closets, their own fears and stuff to deal with, that they may not just have the bandwidth to be able to deal with you being forgiving and kind to them and wanting to heal a relationship. So they're just going to be, they'll push you off kind of thing, with still being the way that they were before with you, or if not worse. Well, they'll drop off. They'll just drop away from your life. The more you focus on the things that you can do, what they say, focus on what you can change, right? And leave the rest. Well, may you whatever time, energy, and your spiritual wisdom into something, those things will just fall off further and further away from your life, where you will not probably even see them ever again. Or if you do, you're just like passing each other, but not really even passing on the street. It's like you see them way across the parking lot, and they don't see you, so you're kind of like, oh yeah, they're still around, but you're not connecting with them anymore. And then at some point in time, you might learn they moved away, or you move away, or something. So that's the thing about it, is that you're changing your mindset. So now you're having a new life because it's a new perspective. You're changing the way you think. So if you don't like what your life is like right now, change your mind, which means change your perspective. See things differently, from a different angle. That'll take you from, the dark skies or the clouds, or the, not knowing, the uncertainties, the shadow. This is your shadow side. You're walking into the light. So you'll be walking away from your shadow, which means you're integrating it into yourself, which means you're going to be able to, because that's healing it, you're going to be able to shine in the light, you see. That's between worlds. So you're between worlds right now, because like I said, everything takes time. So now that I've explained that, I'm just going to go ahead and do what I usually do, okay guys, and that's put out all the cards. These two cards, again, they're informing what we're probably going to be talking about here. All right, so past, present, and future. Past, the woman, okay, so that's either you collective or it's somebody that's on your mind. Your present day is butterfly. Metamorphosis, talk about metamorphosis. You're changing from your shadow side to your light side, your enlightenment side. And she's like a dragonfly. She's all about transformation too, like healing us, spirituality, I'm not sure. But this is metamorphosis, time. Be open, embrace change. Evolution of the soul, rising up, inspiration, and reinventing yourself. Yeah, you're going from what you used to be to who you are now. And look at, there's a tiara on your head here. And that's a hummingbird. Yeah. And all these party favors, people throwing them up and celebrating you. That's really a perfect card. And near future, I should say, grasshopper, leap of faith, easy going, sudden change in direction, and don't worry. You're moving on. You're getting prosperous and like, so what? Birth of a son or luck? Well, you could be having a birth of a son, but my readings are mostly about love, so that's what the focus would likely be on, what this card is saying. It's about the love for yourself and love for your life part of your life, which could include having a son, but that's not what it's about. So let's just keep going. Archangel Michael, these are beautiful cards, and they're just like totally speaks of what these two Wisdom of the Oracle cards, call it Baron Reeds, came out. Okay, Archangel Michael, what about the past energy of woman? There's the Tower card. Now again, the Tower card is not the same as the Tower card in the tarot. It's different. There's concern, okay? Archangel Michael, what about butterfly, please? The butterfly is new life, isn't it? It used to crawl around at ground level, at 3D level, as a caterpillar. Not really having much of a perspective, right? Wow, okay. There's what I refer to as the Emperor of the masculine cards in the Gilded Reverie. In this house, this little cute little house. It's like a tree house, deep with deep roots. Yes. Okay, and what about new? I keep saying new all the time. I guess it's this near future, please. Grasshopper, Archangel Michael. Okay, we have heart, which is love between two people in a big house, a big fancy Victorian style house, beautiful house, lots of detail, lots of attention to details. There's been a lot of focus on that house there. This is a house that took time to build. This wouldn't have taken as much time to build, although it's got deep roots. This one takes a lot more time because the artisans have to get in there and start measuring for and cutting and sanding, painting, finishing off the detailed work that a house like this needs to have it. Otherwise, it's just not a Victorian home, right? Structure. Okay, so let's talk tea leaf now. Let's get some tea. I've already shuffled them. So Archangel Michael, can you give us the past? Or give us the tea on the past here. Egg. Success assured with good plans and hard work. Yes, okay. Now that's very 3D focused too, I must say. Okay. Vulture. Depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. Got some concerns, huh? Near future. Fly. A period of ill health, depression. Oh my goodness. Well, we will see. Again, like yesterday, some tea came out, and it was like, I'm not taking the literal meaning, and I have decided that I'm not going to all the time. I'm going to use it as it works with the rest of the cards. Yeah, if it feels like it's something that needs to be said, like right now, there's like, how can this be ill health with this? Easy going. Sudden change in direction. Don't worry. Moving on. Prosperity. Luck. How can that have anything to do with ill health? And ill health just might mean a negative mindset, right? Something that needs to be healed. Okay? So we can just say fly. What's a fly good for? What's a fly good for? That's what we need to focus on. Well, a fly, like whenever I think of a fly, I think of a fly like being a fly on the wall. being a witness to what's going on behind closed doors that no one else would be able to see, but a fly can get in there. A fly is likely already in there witnessing it, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Fly could be like a helpful friend. I don't know, somebody who would be able to inform you, right, of what it is you need to know. so that you can take a leap of faith, right? The grasshopper. Let's see. Archangel Michael, for the past, these energies, please. We have the Two of Swords. Okay. And the Tower, again, interesting, but this is the Tower of the, now we want to, this one wants to come out, so I'm pulling it, Page of Swords. We got Page of Swords and Two of Swords right underneath each other. But yeah, we got two towers, but one is the Lenormand Tower, and this one is the actual Tarot Tower. Which is, they're opposite of each other, really. They're not really opposite, they're just like, they're different meanings. Okay, for present day, please, with the butterfly, gentleman number 2 with card 28, and little house 4 with vulture, depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. Okay, now 3 of coins, that's wanting to collaborate, and the hangman, receiving an awakening. Like, this person that you may be feeling is against you is the person that you want to move towards right here, because you don't know, you haven't been talking to them. So you could be pessimistically thinking the worst, which may not be the truth or actually as it is at all. So near future, please, with grasshopper, heart, these two swans that mate for life, and they're in love with each other. The big house and the fly on the wall. The Emperor. Okay, and I think about the fly too being something that spreads things around. Okay, and the 9 of Cups. Wow. Okay, wow. Yeah, there's definitely no ill health here. What I would say is that you might be in depression. It says depression here. You might still be depressed, not having that connection yet with this one. That it's been a period of ill health. In that sense, it's like being pessimistic, right? Worrying about it. Sorry guys, I hope you don't hear me drinking, but you probably do, and I apologize. I just get so darn thirsty sometimes. Okay, so what do we got here, guys? So we got a woman. I think that one is a woman that's on your mind, collective. You're here, this is you. And then the Emperor is you over here. You've been hanging out, waiting for the sign, a sign of something, waiting for when it's just right. I think you're dealing with a house right now, and that could be quite literally a house in a divorce settlement. Okay, you're waiting to sell the family, to sell this family home, or to know what's going to happen with the house. Whether you're maybe you'll be giving it to your spouse, but with a settlement, you know. Just so that she can stay in the house. If that's gonna, you know, you might be saying this, if that will help her so that she's not in disparage, you might give her the house. Okay, but then you'd be forfeiting any kind of sales, you know, the capital of what you've earned from the time you bought it to the time it sells, where the investment has increased, the equity in the home. You'd be giving that up, or it might be a deal in the I mean, look, let's just say you bought a house for, like here where we live, houses, a really nice house, it's only in the $200,000 US dollars, okay, range where we live. Okay, that's not fair though, because where we live is not necessarily indicative of the rest of the country prices on housing. But in any case, it's let's just, for example's sake, you've got a house that you could buy for $200,000, and then you sell it 5 to 10 years later, and it's a value now at $260,000. You got $60,000 in equity, you know. And so you would have to say then, well, if we sold the house, my spouse is going to need X number of dollars to be able to have anything even close to what she's been used to living in. Then if you're a caring, compassionate type of person, you're going to say, you're not going to say, oh, well, that's too bad for her. You're going to say, well, you know, $60,000 is what it would take her to get just a smaller home. Or why don't she, you know, why doesn't she just pay me $60,000? You know, I don't know how it's done. I really don't. Maybe she's got family who can help her out like that. But that's not for everybody, obviously, right? But the thing about it is that either let her stay in the house, or her pay you some lump sum of money for the amount, for at least somewhat of what you might be losing in equity for selling the house. Or you're going to sell the house, you know, and whatever equity you get out of it, she gets half of it. That kind of thing. So whatever works for you. But this is a concern about house. It's also concern about you, like symbolically how you feel safe and secure in a place where you can just walk into at the end of the day, close the door and say, okay, the world is out of my life right now. It's just me and my family and my house now. And it's time to do what needs to be done to fill our bellies and clean up, and then rest or have fun, relax with the family, relax with the wife, relax with the husband, whatever. It's time for that. So if this is you empering up, like over here, it's like you're going to be doing something about that whole safety and security that you felt when you had this house that had deep roots. Meaning you either the house has been in the family for a long time and you took it over when you got married, or it's just the fact that you got married and you had kids in this house. It's kind of like the family home. Deep roots. Okay, so there is somebody though on your mind here in the past that you have been feeling like quite separated from. The distance between you. You've been feeling alone, lonely, but also you've been concerned about being able to be with them. That's always been a concern for you, that if you're in a marriage, you couldn't be with them. Even if you weren't in a marriage, could you be with them? Like, there's the distance factor. There's a whole lot of legalities factor that has to be dealt with in order to end one to begin another. You know, and governmental dealings with, you know, wanting to apply for this, needing that, and, you know, maybe you need some social form assistance. You know, you go to those buildings to apply for stuff like that. But you know that it's going to take hard work and great planning in order for you to be able to make a life with this person. So because of that, you just sat on the fence. It's just like, I can't do that. I mean, first of all, I'm in a relationship. I'm committed. First of all, that's in the past. Well, okay, it's not so great, and I do always think about this one here, and I wonder what if we'd ever were able to have gotten together instead of me being with someone else. You know, but it's just not my reality. I have to block my feelings and my emotions about all of this, because it's not going to do me any good keep thinking about it and actually put any kind of mind energy on it, because there's still nothing I can do about it. So you sat on the fence with your eyes closed, and you just sat there blocking your emotions about what it is it would take to be able to be with somebody that you've been trying to deny the fact that you really are in love with that woman. You really are. Now this one here is this is number 28 and this is 29. These are two different decks, but they're still Lenormand decks. Okay, they're both Lenormand. So there's two gentleman cards. Gentleman number 1, which I refer to as the King of Clubs, or King of, I don't say clubs now, King of Hearts, King of Cups. Yeah, number 28. There's two 28s. One is the gentleman holding the rose, and then there's this one bearing his chest. I refer to this guy as the Emperor, and the first one is the King of Cups. Same with this. There's two ladies, and one's bearing her breasts. That's the second lady. Lady number one would be the Queen of Cups, I would refer to, and they're both card number 29. So there's two different types of men, two different types of women in the Lenormand. And so we've got the Empress right here, you see. That's who I refer to. Well, one that the Emperor and the Empress who bear their skin are the ones that have grown and become wise and realize that the only way to wisdom is through vulnerability. It's when we have an ego armor on. When we have ego armor on that has come as a result of trying to protect ourselves. The fear of us having something taken from us or not having enough is an armor that says, you know, you don't come towards me because you can't have anything I want. Anything I want, you can't have, it's mine. You know, and it shows up in so many different ways, so many negative personality trait ways, okay? So many, too many to count off, to mention. But, you know, there's like being standoffish, just being rude, being unkind, being not compassionate, thinking of yourself only, you know, just so many things that fear shows up as, which is the ego. All right. So when we look at somebody and you see how you know, just as aggressive they're behaving, or showing off or standing off, you know, something that you see as being as a way to push people away, really, as a way to push people away, because you know that if they were to be that way with you, that you'd say like, goodbye, you're nothing to me, kind of thing, right? Well, that is that armor of that person. They are protecting that very, very vulnerable inner being, that very, very vulnerable and powerful emotion of, am I worthy? Maybe I'm not worthy enough. That's why everybody's like this, so I need to protect myself. You know, that kind of thinking. There's way more to it. It's so complex, the human psyche is. So anyways, you have got an Empress that you've been concerning about. You're feeling so separate from her, though connected energetically, obviously, because you got feelings for that lady that you just didn't want to feel, because it would take too much work, hard work, and too much like exact planning in order for you to be with them. So it was just easier to be with somebody that was right there with you. Well, the Tower came down and it said, oh no, that's not your truth. That's not your truth, collective. Oh no, that's not your truth. It's time for you to make things straight, to do the right thing and make things straight, to follow your heart, to stop blocking yourself. You're delaying your own happiness in this kind of energy of just sitting on the fence, reticent and stubborn about making a decision to do one thing or the other. So then you're moving into the present day, because that's your past. You decided you're going to be picking up your sword from now on, and you're going to try and follow it as best as you can after the Tower came down and blew all of that up that had to do with you hanging on to someone or something that was no longer good for you anymore, just out of fear, simply out of fear of what you could lose as a result, the hard work you'd have to put into you know, getting divorced, you know, going through the whole legal process of doing that, having to talk to you and appease your families, and having to put up with their rhetoric and indignant feedback in some situations, right? Having to put up with all that. Even your friends might be questioning you, like, what the hell's going on with you, Joey? Like, why are you and Samantha, like, you know, what's going on? Like, do you think that's the right thing to do for the kids? You know, just people giving their opinions and questioning you, making you feel like a shit for doing something that is right for you. So then, you know, you said, I'm following my heart. This came down for a reason. And I know that I have her on my mind. Look how she's at the top, right? She's on your mind. These are your, like, your legs and your feet here, and this is your body. She's on your mind. She's on your mind. And it's like you're saying, well, isn't it high time now, since things have been blown up? I can actually follow my desires now, my heart desires, okay? That says, okay, the divine says, oh, well, hallelujah. This is the divine giving you a brand new beginning in truth. Truth, honesty, clarity, and transparency, not to mention integrity, okay? That's what you've been keeping an eye on, this young lady over here for the longest. Well, she might be not young, but she, you know, she could be young, okay? But you've been keeping an eye on her from afar, obviously, because, right, from afar. You got something to say to her, but you haven't been saying it, and it's been a long time coming, okay? So you are metamorphosing because you have decided that you're okay with being open and embracing change. You said it's time for that. It's time. Yeah, it's time for a new life. It's time for a new way, a new lifestyle, a new way of looking at things, a new perspective, a new way of feeling about myself. Like, I am not unworthy. I am very worthy of being loved. I have been going through life probably not really thinking about that, but if I had been, I'd probably been feeling like a shit more than I've been feeling like I'm a beautiful person from the inside out. I really am. I may not act like it all the time, but I'm a truly beautiful person from the inside out, and that is confirmed because I have a soul. I have a soul just like anybody else. So because I have a soul, and the soul is, you know, divine love, which is unconditional love. My soul loves me unconditionally. It doesn't matter if anyone else's soul does. My soul does. And therefore that makes me worthy. Simply for that reason alone, I am worthy because I am deeply and dearly and adoringly loved by my soul, which is the God that I like to believe is there. And I'm finding out God really is in me, as He is in everybody else. And it may not look like it, but that's only because the people where it doesn't look like they have God in them, because they've got so much pain and fears of the conditioning they've had ever since childhood, that they don't know, or they don't care to know, or they don't care to want to do anything about it. Even if they knew they could do it, they're not doing the hard work needed in order for them to be able to become enlightened and gain a new perspective. A hangman position is being stuck so that you can see all that I've just told you right now, so that you can see it that way. That you are fully, wholly, 100% worthy as anyone else. It's just some people don't behave like it yet, just like you didn't. Until some point between today and back, there's some point where you've changed your mind about this. You've decided to think a little differently about yourself. It's called getting to know yourself better. It's about paying attention to you and trying to let your inner child know that you're there for them and loving them, because you may be able to say something like, you know, I haven't really paying attention to you because I didn't really know I needed to. You know, so please forgive me for that. But I love you and I'm here for you now. Just like you would do with any child of yours. The inner child is the same situation, because if you think, even though we've changed so much from when we were a child to where we are as an adult, even though we look different, we have different pursuits and goals, and the way we behave with other people and stuff like that, from a child to now, your child is still in you. That child that you were is still there. It's just like how everything kind of grows around it and up, and it makes you just be bigger and bigger as things get more and more evolved and growing, like physically, right? So the inner child is still within you. It's deeply connected with your soul. Okay, deeply. You could say there's 3 parts of you, but there isn't. It's all one. But in this world, it can look like that. In this dream, in this illusion, it can look like there's a couple of different parts of us, right? Soul and body, or soul and person, soul and human, right? And then if you want to think, well, there's that little me still in there too that's got to say, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't be behaving the way I am right now. That's causing me a lot of challenges. So right now, you are metamorphosing. You're between worlds. It's going to take a little bit for you to really integrate and heal your shadow side so that you can really shine. You can rise up and shine. Rise up and shine because you are stepping into a new life by incorporating your shadow, healing it, paying attention to it, looking at it, those fears that are in your subconscious mind, your wounded inner child. Pay attention and heal. Love and heal. Forgive. Forgive yourself. It's all about you first. You first. Forgive yourself, because then whatever you're doing with you can easily do it with another person. Make sense? Right. So here you are. You're amping up. You're leveling up in that energy that you're taking on a new energy, new life, right? You're going from what you would have been maybe simply as, let's just say, a king of cups, right? The gentleman number 1. You are moving into this energy of gentleman number 2, which is the emperor. Allowing yourself to be vulnerable and being quite fine with that. You're comfortable in your own skin. And you got red all around you, and that sign is all masculine, masculine energy. You got red all around you, all love and just that beauty of the material that you feel on your skin. You're muscular. You're taking care of yourself now. And it may not be that you're working out. It may just be that you're taking care of yourself in the way that I've just been talking about. That's called self-love. That's doing things like going inward during prayer and meditation, to talk to your wounded inner child, to try and let them know how much you love. You don't have to do it in meditation. You can just talk to them at any time in your mind. Whether you're at home talking to them out loud, or you're talking to them in your mind, when you're out, or even when you're at home, it doesn't matter, because it's you, right? You're talking to. So you're doing that work, and hallelujah. And this little house is the one that you're dealing with, that you're putting, you're tying loose ends up, like you're putting it to rest. It's not going to be a place that you're going to be moving forward to feel like it's your safe haven. Not anymore. That's behind you. You're wanting to start a collaboration with somebody else who, this one, you feel it might be against you. So it worries you. It concerns you. So God says, the divine says, well, hang out with me a little while then. Just hang out some more with me, because we've got to get you feeling like the strength card, right? Like secure in your knowing that it's okay, because you're worthy, that you are highly loved, irregardless of anyone, whatever anyone says to you or thinks about you, including this one right here. Okay, and I know that'd be scary to think that the one that you really want to be with wouldn't want to be with you, but it's a possibility. But let's just say it's a twin flame. Even your twin flame may not be in a position to be with you, but they probably want to be with you. But it depends how you approach it. Are you a changed person? So it's just like, it's up in the air until it's no longer up in the air. It's up in the air. So you're feeling a little bit anxious about that, possibly depressed, that someone might be against you. Okay, that someone being her, right here. So you want to reconnect and collaborate, like this is reconnecting with someone, to collaborate. In this situation it is. But God says, hang on there, son. We have a little bit of healing yet. You need to gain a more secure and grounded perspective of who you really are. Because you're not the one you thought you were. You're someone who I know you are. You're someone I love dearly and deeply. And for that reason alone, collective masculine, you can know that you are deeply loved and therefore are wholly worthy. Worthy of all sorts of great things in love in this life. It's going to, with a mindset like that, once you get back on your feet and you take accountability and responsibility for, you know, what's happened in your life, because we all, you know, it takes two to tango. Once you get back on your feet, you're going to be a wholly different person. You're going to feel a lot stronger, and you're going to be able to use those back legs and those antennas, which is your spirit guides, right? Two spirit guides on right there on top of your nose. They're there guiding you, and you just use those big back legs there, and you spring into your new world, your new life. All right, new life, new world. Okay. Because you're just having heart, you're just having like, oh, I got all sorts of love from myself. See, it's like a mirror image, you loving yourself, but it also represents like the Two of Cups, loving someone, having true love for someone else, because you have this beautiful home that took a long time to be constructed exactly in the way it needs to be, right? You can't have a Victorian structure like that with all that like cake decorating on top of it, right? You can't. It wouldn't look the same. It just, you know, it wouldn't be a Victorian home. So that's the same thing about your life, is that unless you have love for yourself, you can have all the structures in the world in your life, but until you have that love for yourself, everything else is just like it's shadow, right? It's a lot less colorful than what it could be and should be, really. Okay, love for yourself will make this the home that you deserve to have, and it needs to be, with all that embellishments on it. It's a beautiful home. So you're going to be able to move from, you know, and flies, like, they get around, right? They spread things. I'm going to say gossip, all right? They tell you stuff. Not disease, but gossip, all right? They spread things. You find out what you need to know. Yes, you do, with that little fly. And it's going to keep you in the Emperor energy of wanting to marry somebody, you know, or just be that higher vibe resonancy with your gal over here, who this one represents. And you're definitely taking charge of your life. Taking charge, taking control, standing up in that kind of like, I've got the divine in my back pocket. I fully know who I am now, or I'm getting to at least pay more and more attention to that worthiness part of me than any other part of me that is not my truth. There is a Nine of Cups. There is somebody on my mind, in my life, that ticks all of my boxes here, all these cups, these glasses. And that's the truth. There you go, huh? I know it's very childish, sorry. But anyways, that's what I know today. Okay, guys, that should send you off into the weekend feeling mighty more confident, because not only are you worthy, and you're starting to learn that about yourself. You didn't really fully believe that in the beginning, before all of this, but you are taking charge. You're stepping up, taking control of your empire, in the sense that your heart is your empire, all right? And you want to have a wish fulfilled. So this is fulfilling a wish to have this kind of love and this security in your life. Finally. Right, guys, well, I hope that was good for you. I hope it helped, and let me know what you think, and please like and subscribe if you haven't. That would be wonderful. I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. Bye for now, and happy weekend.